So, what if you had a blueprint to transform an entire nation's economy? I'm not talking about from the top down, but from the ground up, one small business at a time. Today, we're going to dig into the really ambitious master plan of the Lumen Network. Everything really kicks off with this one massive question. This isn't about little policy tweaks or some minor adjustments. No, this is about a fundamental shift. So what does it really take to build a strong, independent, and thriving nation?
Well, according to the Lumen Network, the answer starts with just one number, and it is a big one, 1 million. But not $1 million or even 1 million jobs. Nope, it's 1 million of something way more powerful. Yep, that's it, 1 million empowered entrepreneurs. That is the core idea. The belief here is that the true engine of a nation's growth, it's in its micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. The MSMEs. And of course, the people who pour their hearts into leading them.
All right, so let's dive into the why, because every great plan has this incredibly powerful vision that's driving it forward. What's the ultimate goal here? What does success actually look like? And here it is. This is basically their North Star. Now notice the dual focus here. It's really important. It's about empowering the individual business, unlocking their potential, but it's always tied back to the bigger picture, building a tough, resilient ecosystem for a self-reliant India. One success story just fuels the next, and that creates this incredible ripple effect.
Now this is where it gets really interesting, because they actually quantify what unlocking potential means. It's not just some fuzzy idea, it's a real, tangible journey. First, you stabilize, and you double your business. Then, you scale it up 5-fold. And finally, you achieve a total transformation, a 10x impact. It's a super clear, escalating path for every single entrepreneur in the network.
Okay, so that's the big vision, the why. But a vision without a solid plan? It's really just a daydream. So let's get into the mission blueprint, the strategic how they're actually going to make all this happen.
So this is the nuts and bolts of it, and it's kind of like a multi-pronged attack. It's not just about giving advice. It's about enabling businesses with real-world frameworks and technology. It's about bringing in experts to share their collective wisdom and making mentorship a core part of the system. And the end game? It's to catalyze these MSMEs so they can compete on the world stage.
So, you probably caught that term on the last slide, right? C360-degree solutions. What in the world is that? Well, think of it like their secret sauce, their special toolkit. It's a holistic framework that's built to diagnose and solve those fundamental problems that stop businesses from growing. It gives them the confidence they need to take those big, scary leaps.
Look, having a mission is one thing, but how you actually do it, that's just as important, if not more so. And that brings us to the core values. This is like the operating system, the code of conduct that guides every single decision and every interaction.
And boom, here they are, 6 key principles. You've got everything from integrity and empowerment to innovation and excellence. Every single one of these is like a pillar holding up the whole thing. But a couple of these, they really deserve a closer look. Okay, let's start with integrity in action. Just look at the contrast here. It's the huge difference between giving purpose-driven, ethical advice versus the alternative on the right, which is just chasing quick profits no matter the cost. This is all about building sustainable, respected businesses for the long haul.
All right, next up, collaboration at scale. This one is absolutely critical. It's the total opposite of that lone wolf approach you see here, where you're trying to figure everything out on your own. The Lumen model is all about tapping into the power of the network, using that collective wisdom so that everybody grows faster together. But out of all these great values, this is the one that really brings it all home, the nation-building mindset. Think of it like a filter for every single decision. It makes sure that every small win is seen as a direct contribution to the country's bigger picture of prosperity and self-reliance. It's the ultimate why behind all the work. All right, we've gone through the why, the how, and the philosophy behind it all. So let's bring it home and talk about the what. What's the real-world, tangible result of all this? What's the payoff? And this right here, this is the end game. See, it's not just about creating 1 million successful companies that are all off on their own islands. No, it's about the incredible multiplier effect they create together. Each and every success strengthens the national fabric, creates jobs, sparks innovation, and ultimately builds a more dynamic and self-reliant economy for the whole country. So I want to leave you with this one final thought. We've all seen it, right? A single thriving local business can totally change a community. It creates jobs, it inspires other people, it uplifts the whole area. So just imagine that, but multiply it by 1 million. What does that change? Well, it changes pretty much everything.